Charles Darwin, of course, once said, I cannot persuade myself that a beneficent and omnipotent God would have created parasitic wasps with the express intention of their feeding within the living bodies of caterpillars. His point being that, creatures and their reproductive cycles are so complicated, so intricate, so bizarre, that alone is proof of the non-existence of God. Where do you stand on that?
It's pretty weird. We talked about it ages ago, didn't we, about the wasp that has a thing growing in it and all that.
Lays its egg in a spider.
Yeah, and then the spider goes mad, doesn't it?
You fucking cunt, lay your eggs in me, you fucking stripy wanker. Goes absolutely fucking mad.
It is weird.
I know what's going on my arse in a couple of you fucking...
I don't know how it found out that that's what it had to do. That's the amazing thing, isn't it?
Well, it didn't, did it?
It just did it.
No, I know, but when I say found out, I mean it just did it.
Well, it's like mimicry. When they say mimicry, that there's a poisonous snake, and then a snake comes along that looks a bit like it, that's not poisonous, but people go, "Oh, careful, it's poisonous." That snake didn't go, I'm gonna strain, and I'm gonna try and look like Scary over there. Some were born that looked a bit like Scary, and they survived.
Yeah, I know.
It's just being chosen.
But that's changing now, isn't it? The fact that, like, when them frogs came out that are dangerous, they were just dangerous.
What frogs came out? But
There's some frogs in the jungle somewhere that were, like, pretty dangerous.
Yeah, from Mattel, dangerous frogs in the jungle.
Yeah.
But people didn't know that they were dangerous. And they were going about killing loads of stuff. Anyway.
They weren't going, they don't go around killing loads of stuff.
Nature said, this is a bit unfair. Make them orange. So then, the frogs that were orange were dangerous, but you got a warning. It's a bit more fair. Nature said, if they're going to go about being dangerous, make them orange, make them stand out. In a jungle, orange stands out in all the green, right? So people went, there's an orange frog, stay away. Then, over time, nature went, right, what's happened here now? Everyone knows the orange frog's dangerous. Birds aren't eating it because they know it's dangerous. People are avoiding it. They don't even need the poison, it's just the orange it needs. So now you've got a load of frogs that are orange, not even deadly. But people go, is that a deadly orange one, or is it a friendly one? Well, best to leave it.
Again, he's explained my point, but took 30 times as long over it.
But listen, let me finish what I was going to say. But what's interesting with all that is, evolution has taught stuff to lie. Because that orange frog isn't deadly, it's going about like it's the big I am.
Yeah.
You could squash it with your hand, you can't do anything. But evolution...
It's swaggering around.
It's made it lie. So lying is part of evolution.
But it's not lying, is it?
What do you mean?
Well...
It's got no
But the
poison.
interesting thing about, like a toad that secretes a poison is that often it's no good for it as an individual, but it's good for the species as a whole, because someone will come along and chew it. Now, that toad might well die, but that fox is sick, and it doesn't eat another one. So it's sort of saving the species.
Yeah, but at the same time, the dodo tasted rubbish. Everybody said, don't eat one of them again.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
I have read it. I've read that they don't taste very nice. But it didn't
Why
stop
doesn't it
dying
taste
out.
very nice?
It's
Why
just in the same way that chicken's nicer than duck. You can't all have nice tasting flesh. Pork's alright, but I prefer beef.
Point proven, good night.
So, what I'm saying is, with the dodo, it did taste horrible, but everyone wanted to give it a go. Meanwhile, it's different people trying it, so it died out in the end anyway. So your theory of a frog being poisonous and a fox going, there, that's horrible, I won't eat another one of them. Then you get another fox trying one, and another fox. They don't all have a word with each other, do they? They go, I had a rotten frog the other night. So it's pointless. It's a pointless exercise.
What I like is your image of nature. This idea that sort of, in your head, there's Mother Nature sat around like a boardroom table, making these decisions. People are coming in, oi, frog, what's been going on? Well, I've been poisoning people. Why? What about you? It's just, you just picture everything as one large
Your confusion is that you still think of evolution has a will. You still believe that things are striving to be something else, as opposed to surviving if they adapt or change. I just want to go through some of the wonderful diversity of nature, some of the incredible feats of the animal kingdom, in a way. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Alligators and old people have something in common. They can hear notes only up to 4,000 vibrations a second.
I don't know what you're meant to do with that information. When's that ever come in handy? When a band's getting together, they don't go, no, we're after crocodiles and old people. What sort of tune do they like? It's pointless.
You're not impressed, okay. Scientists have applied electrodes to the pleasure centre in a rat's brain. The rat pressed a lever 48,000 times over a full day in order to receive that shock that seemed to him pleasurable, choosing the simulator instead of having water or food or sex. So it chose that virtual pleasure, well, not virtual pleasure, it gave it real pleasure, but an artificial stimulus rather than the real thing, like food or water.
He
or
never
sex.
ate and had water. He never had a change.
No, it was addicted. It loved this electrode. It was giving it. It just made it feel good. It was getting as much pleasure from that as the real thing, from sex or food.
Yeah, but with any pleasure, you get sick of it, don't you? If you have too much of it.
Well, it had 48,000 hits in a day.
But I like having a Twix. But if I have more than 4 a week, I've ruined that little pleasure I used to like.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, what did you do the second day?
No,
did you go near the machine the second day?
No.
There you go then.
No. But what you're saying is this, right? That Twix is failing to give you pleasure on that 5th Twix, but this succeeds every time because it's literally pleasure. It hits the part of the brain that says this is pleasurable.
So,
But
my pleasure nerve that you're talking about in my head, it lights up when I have Twix.
I don't think it ever lights up.
Right.
I don't think you've got a pleasure nerve.
But it lights up when I have a Twix.
Right.
It lights up if there's some chicken, right? It lights
Fuck
up if
me.
there's
What a miserable cunt he is.
you know, all loads of things.
Chicken and Twix.
That's it.
No.
That's all he lives for.
No.
Hang yourself, mate.
So, what you're saying is, if I had that device that the rat's got, I'd just sit there, wouldn't I, hitting it, thinking, I can't be bothered going to the shop for a Twix, I'll just hit this button.
Yeah. Think of this. So aggressive is the horned frog of Argentina that people believe that if the frog bites the lip of the horse will die. Actually, the frog's mouth contains no poison. It earned its fearsome reputation because it attacks animals many times its size. What do you think of a frog
It's
attacking
ridiculous.
a horse?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why that would happen. Why is he getting upset with a horse? Of all the things for a frog to be like getting cocky with, them two should never even meet.
Why?
Because it's not, I mean, fights are normally over something, aren't they?
Yeah.
If you have a fight with someone, you're in my yard, or, you know, you're fighting over something. A horse and a
The
frog.
fact that he immediately goes back to the 1930s.
Yeah.
You're in my yard.
But a horse and a frog, how did that disagree?
What are they squabbling over?
I don't understand what they've got in common. I don't understand it. I bet that's only happened once. It's a rare incident. Someone's to put that in a book. I can't imagine it. That's happening a lot. That horses are being bit by frogs all over the shop.